Now it's going up very quickly, and by the end of 2024, XRP could be worth as much as $1,650 back 0 cents to $2,900 back 0 cents. Get ready for a big break in your money. These claims aren't just crazy. They're based on a big event, the end of an XRP off. Think about this. Think about this. BlackRock, a big financial business that made a Bitcoin ETF, it did very well, is now using its great track record to make an XRP ETF. Almost every ETF plan BlackRock has sent in has been accepted. So their move into XRP is a big deal. But BlackRock isn't the only one making waves. There is now something else in the game, Grayscale. Their idea for an XRP ETF is not only interesting, but they have also added XRP to their list of coins. XRP and Ripple Labs are becoming more important in the world of foreign business because of this. Hello, Helpcoin family. You're back to the place where you can learn everything about XRP. Let's quickly catch up before we get to the meat of today's post. Could you please do me a small favor? Follow and like the video, then click the bell button to join our great group. Also, just so you know, we're getting ready for a big XRP gift as we get closer to 60,000 members. All you have to do to enter is these 3 simple things. Make sure you're ready and listening to make sure you win the giveaway. For money side, don't forget to leave a word in the comments. Let's see what's new in the exciting world of XRP right now. BlackRock has a great track record when it comes to approving ETF. If you look at the numbers more closely, you can see this. BlackRock's move into cryptocurrencies and Web 3.0 is a big change from how standard banks see digital currencies. BlackRock is the best at managing assets in the world. They have almost a perfect record of accepting ETFs, which shows how well they understand the stock market. Don't forget that BlackRock has an amazing 99.8% approval rate for ETF, which makes them unbeatable in the world of ETFs. It's important to see the big picture. Big banks like BlackRock and JP Morgan have been looking for, when it comes to XRP, they've also been buying it. A paper that was made public says that these big companies have put more than 7.5% of their entire wealth into XRP. A recent story with a lot of research even said BlackRock might be shifting all of its attention from Bitcoin to XRP. This would be a big change in how they invest their money. This move shows that more people are interested in XRP, which makes the idea of a BlackRock-backed XRP ETF more possible than ever. Things are about to get even more interesting though. There is a new character in the XRP story, the fact that there is an XRP ETP. This EPA was made by someone, but the fact that it exists is a big step toward an ETF. News stories say that even though XRP ETP has been released, it is still in the pre-release process and has no value. It is ready to be shown off at any time, a possible start of an XRP ETF at the same time as the EP is being talked about. Not only does this release make sense, but it also shows how fast work is going on the ETF. In light of the fact that Bitcoin went from $0, 0 cents to $43,000, 0 cents before its ETF launch, this means that XRP has a huge amount of potential. Once its ETF hits the market, XRP's value could skyrocket to $1,650 or even $2,500. Pay attention, this isn't as crazy as it sounds. Since the XRP ETP is already live, the XRP ETF will be in just a few weeks. A big name in finance called Vitality has made the exchange-rated products for XRP public. A lot of people don't know this. This means that the start of an XRPF is coming up quickly. It is likely that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission will give its okay soon. We even talked yesterday about a new piece that came out. There was a story that said an XRP ATF might be coming soon. It was leaked from BlackRock. This story showed that XRP was going to be filed as an ETF. A top BlackRock expert said in public that a BlackRock ETF will be launched that is only for XRP, which made things even more exciting. In an ETF report, they even talked about the iShares XRP Trust at first. Even though I wasn't sure, I checked it out, and sure enough, it's on the Delaware list of companies. That's all changed now, and it shows how close we are to seeing a big change in the XRP market position, maybe even bigger than the changes we've seen with seen with Bitcoin's ETF. New study makes it clear that the crypto world is changing in a big way. Big companies are getting into cryptocurrency, as seen by the fact that BlackRock and JP Morgan have each bought more than 7.5 million XRP. BlackRock is ahead of the curve because they not only hold on to a lot of XRP, but also use the XRP ledger in their business and are moving forward with the start of an XRP ETF. BlackBerry is almost certain to accept the XRP ETF. They have a very good track record of doing so. You can't say enough about how much the value of an XRP ETF changes. It makes sense for XRP to have a gold price of $9,831.00, even though it seems high at first. This is because a lot of important things are about to happen. Check it out. You think about how much XRP is setting itself up to be. It could become a big player in global debt trades between $18 its own cents and $1.30. Quadrillion could pass through the XRP ledger, with the SSD being the main driver. The BRICS countries, including Saudi Arabia, are also adding the XRP system to their coming ways to. The Republic of Palau is also building its own digital currency with the help of the XRP system. This is a common situation where there is a lot of demand, not enough supply. It makes sense that each XRP coin would become very valuable. A lot of people are talking about this topic these days. Some people think my joy about XRP is just a dream. They might be right, but I want to say this. I really want to take this opium, took a deep breath, I rolled it into a big ball and lit it on fire. That's very powerful. I believe in hope. It keeps you going, especially when things are bad and you're barely holding on. But it's okay if you don't believe in hope and think it's all just hopeful thinking. That doesn't bother me in any way. Help each other out. I tell myself that. We're not here to throw tokens into a void, so anything less feels like that. We're here to keep things quiet. Also, since we're talking about good things, I love how interesting the talks are and how hard everyone's views are. It really makes you think. People in XRP made a good point about groups. They don't have to buy XRP. They could also rent it. That's an interesting thought, right? What would happen if regular people were the only ones who bought XRP? I learned more about this and even asked ChatGPT how many trades happen on the Swift system every day. They told me over $7 trillion, 0 cents, which I thought was crazy. Remember, foreign trade is the only thing this counts. It doesn't include the swaps market, which is worth 4 quadrillions of dollars, not changeable tokens. The NFT war, tokenized things like real estate. Now, think about how all of these things could be done with XRP. But since that's what Swift does, we should only talk about trade between countries. Cut that $7 trillion, 0 cents in half. If XRP, with its 1,700 connections, yes, Ripple and XRP have really raised the bar here, had to handle only $3 trillion, 0 cents of it every day, what do you think would happen? The system would have to hold $3 trillion, 0 cents for that day, which could make XRP worth more than